Annyeonghaseyo, good morning, everyone. It's my great honor and pleasure to present my paper at my second Sakyadhita. So I'm not going to read through my paper, but from the slides, I show the key points. Oh, sorry. So this paper explores the core values of the pioneer organization that was initiated by a group of Bhikṣuṇīs in Hong Kong and also lay women, providing regular Buddhist chaplaincy services at public hospitals in Hong Kong. And it's not easy to do this service in an organized way. And I will start with a real story. So last August 2022, I received a WhatsApp message from my long-term friend, Wei Yi. She's also my friend in the Buddhist Society at my alma mater, the Chinese University of Hong Kong. So it was about the deteriorating medical condition of her 14-year-old daughter, Hoi Ching. Hoi Ching was suffering from bone cancer since 2021, and now the cancer had spread to her lungs. Hoi Ching had been staying at the Hong Kong Children's Hospital and had been missing school. I had met Hoi Ching on 2 occasions when she was a young child. Wei Yi requested me to introduce her to a female Buddhist counselor as she could not connect well with the current male counselor. At the same time, I organized weekly online meditation sessions with Wei Yi to help her and support her because last year is still under the very strict anti-pandemic measures in Hong Kong. And it's also very difficult for the relatives or friends of the patients to visit the patients in that situation last year because the family members need to get the negative result of the PCR test and also with vaccination requirement. So it's very challenging for patients at the hospitals. And I also asked my student, Stella, who is studying at the Fo Guang University Master Program, although she's a mature student. So she has been volunteering at an NGO that provides Buddhist chaplaincy service to patients. So with a lot of enthusiasm and effort, we successfully invited Bhikṣuṇī Marian, a trained Buddhist chaplaincy from that NGO, which I will introduce to you, for my friend Wei Yi, and also for visiting Hoi Ching, the girl. And she passed away last year on the 1st of October. So you see the melody cartoon, that is what they also showed in her funeral. So about the emergence of Buddhist chaplaincy in the West. So it starts in the West. So chaplain originated from Latin capella, meaning little club. It originated in the 4th century in France. A Roman soldier who wished to become a monk, connecting with spirituality. So once he cut his cloak into half with his sword and gave it to a beggar. And then he left the army and later became Catholic Saint Martin. So chaplains and later became associated with pastoral and spiritual care. And in contemporary context, chaplain generally refers to a lay or ordained representative of a religious tradition who is attached to a secular institution. For example, a school, hospital, a prison, or a military unit. And generally, there are 3 kinds of chaplaincy nowadays. The first one, ecumenical chaplaincy in collaboration with different kinds of Christian chaplain. The second one, multi-faith chaplaincy. And the third one, generic chaplaincy serving all faiths and no faith. So for Buddhist chaplains, they usually belong to the second and the third category in their service. So Buddhist chaplaincy, interestingly, not start in Asian countries or Asian Buddhist countries, but Buddhist chaplaincy start in the West first with Christian chaplaincy as a heritage. So it starts in the West, for example, the United States and the United Kingdom. Since the 1980s, Buddhist chaplaincy has become increasingly popular, and the first Buddhist chaplaincy is in the prison, for prison service. For example, in the UK, the Angulimala Buddhist prison chaplaincy organization developed in the UK in 1985. So dear venerables may be familiar with Angulimala story. And another one in the United States is also famous. It's called the Prison Dharma Network. Today, the Prison Mindfulness Institute, developed by Fritz Moore. And he also was in the prison for 14 years. And it's very moving and touching about how he started this organization and serving people in the prison. And so you can see the video on their website. And I show this to my students when I teach Buddhist ethics. And also, Buddhist chaplaincy also involved in military and healthcare systems. And Buddhist chaplaincy, chaplains not only serves patients of Buddhist faith, but also patients of any religious faith with relevant spiritual care, embracing the generic chaplaincy model. And you see the photos. And in the United States, they, with their education system and also the clinical support, education system, so there are at least 7 institutions providing Buddhist chaplaincy curriculum and or diploma, master degree for people who would like to become a Buddhist chaplain. And the curricula include sacred Buddhist literature, pastoral care, counseling, and spiritual practice. And monastic ordination is not a requirement in Buddhist chaplaincy training. So as Bloch said, the objective of a Buddhist chaplain is to alleviate suffering from physical pain and emotions, such as fear, anger, depression, loneliness, and grief. A Buddhist chaplain should act as a guide who has investigated suffering in their life experiences to assist in transforming the suffering of the patients and to guide the patients through possible healing, awakening, and transformation. And so you may find some information on some websites introducing Buddhist chaplain. This is from Tricycle. And about chaplaincy services in Hong Kong, it starts by Christian groups or Catholic groups. So especially in the 60s, Christian churches were involved in providing education, healthcare, and social services to mass refugees since the 1950s. And many people have not enough food and healthcare services. And in the 1982, St. Mary's Hospital, which is an important public hospital in Hong Kong, established the first palliative care team, and also another hospital, Rittenji Hospital, in 1986. And they set up a hospice unit in a few hospitals. Like the Nan Long Hospital, it served mainly cancer patients. So some Buddhist monastics have been visiting cancer patients in hospitals since 1990s, but the visits are not regular or organized. For example, Venerable Hin Hong, who founded the Center of Buddhist Studies in Hong Kong University. He was one of the pioneer visiting cancer patients at Nanyang hospitals many years ago. But it's not an organized way to do that. So there's no office of Buddhist Chaplaincy at the public hospitals. And even the Christian chaplains service, they start organized that only after the 1980s. And for the Buddhist side, Bhikṣuṇī Hiến Yang, she is a very important person. She led her lay followers at Queen Mary Hospital, providing the first full-time Buddhist chaplaincy in 2011. And everything is not easy to start a service because in the very beginning, some Buddhist chaplains were not allowed to approach some patients easily in that setting. And Bhikṣuṇī Hiến Yang, she's a talented visual artist and school teacher ordained as a nun at Bảo Lâm Sim Tzi Po Lam Chan Monastery in 1992. And she established an NGO, the Center for Spiritual Progress to Great Awakening, Dai Gok Phúc Hành Zhong Sim, in 2009. And the motto is, true love is borderless, together we overcome hardships. 真愛無界限. And she devoted herself in giving Dharma talks, serving underprivileged groups, especially the elderly and ill patients, also the cancer patients. And because of these conditions, she established its first BCU, Buddhist Chaplaincy Unit, in 2011. And try to run it in an organized way, and also provide organized training, professional training for volunteers, so that now they have full-time Buddhist chaplains working at the hospitals, and they also have set up offices in some public hospitals. And unfortunately, Venerable Hiến Yang, she passed away because of cancer, and she also donated her body to the medical school of Chinese University of Hong Kong for a clinical investigation for the medical students. And the successor of Venerable Bhikṣuṇī Hiến Yang, Venerable Chun Deng, she's from Malaysia herself, but she has stayed in Hong Kong for over 14 years, serving the chaplaincy services at 17 hospitals. And also they have provided at least 45,000 visits to patients. And they have, nowadays, they have 12 trained Buddhist chaplains. They have their own training programs. And also over 300 volunteers. They call them spiritual envoys. So this is Venerable Chun Deng. And they also organize other programs like a hospital outreach caring service and Buddhist life and death education program, and serving patients in the clinical oncologic and high dependency units, making frequent bedside visits to Buddhist and also non-Buddhist patients at the hospital. And yeah, that's what she has been done. And she has also involved in some interreligious dialogue. For example, a series of radio programs at the RTH Radio Hong Kong, and also some public lectures. So she's now a famous public figure. And I think one thing is important, that is the Buddhist Chaplaincy service is now recognized by the public. So with less discrimination. And that is a very big progress with the effort of the Bhikṣunis in Hong Kong. And also, fortunately, I also invite Venerable Bhikṣuṇī Chindern to share the experience for my students at the Life and Death Education course. So, yeah. So go back to the story, the real story of my friend Wei Yi and her daughter Hoi Ching. So Wei Yi was hoping the spiritual support could help Hoi Ching would breathe with her last breath peacefully. Hoi Ching, Wei Yi recorded that Hoi Ching didn't want to close her eyes to sleep for fear of death. And I was extremely saddened by the news to the point that I could not hold back my tears and kept sobbing for half an hour. I still remember it's last September, just 3 days before she passed away. And Wei Yi followed Bhikṣuṇī Chindern's advice to conduct a low-key, multi-faith funeral for Hoi Ching in the morning. So usually the funeral in Hong Kong Chinese contest organized in the evening. And, but with the Bhikṣuṇī's advice, it would be good to do a low-key one and also multi-faith one, because Hoi Ching attends Christian schools. So she has a lot of Christian friends, and also the parents are Christians. So with the advice of Bhikṣuṇī Chindern, a multi-faith funeral was organized last October, and over 150 guests and the classmates and their parents attend. And it's very meaningful to allow many people to reflect a meaningful life of Hoi Ching, although she had a very short life journey, only about 14 years. And also some videos of Hoi Ching, very happy videos when she in her school lives and with friends. And then after the break of the funeral, the classmates and also parents, they could choose to leave the funeral venue, and then it continued to be followed by a Buddhist ritual. So it's beautiful funeral, I would say, although the friends missed Hoi Ching. And as a summary, with the effort of Bhikṣunis and lay women, the SPGAHK, so this center demonstrates a generic chaplaincy model serving any faith and multi-faith together with the pastoral care and also with spiritual care. And it is the first Buddhist chaplaincy organization mobilizing Bhikṣunis and lay women serving the pastoral care to those in need in their last journey. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your listening.